Alright, my first order of business as far as the update goes is I've ordered 4 South Shore cars, 2 of the single level Nippon electrics, and then 2 of the gallery cars. These are the modern equipment that South Shore uses today in Chicago on their line between South Chicago and South Bend and Michigan City, Indiana. So I think they're really cool cars, which is why I got them. And as to why I'm buying these, because they probably seem a little bit out there, is because lately I've really been into traction. I can thank my friend Andy Breaker for getting me into traction. And he's actually the one responsible for me having this car, which is, as I understand, one of his earlier models. And it is wood. It's an older Walthers kit. And I have to build the rest of the floor and chassis for it. I'm just happy to have a car body to practice with. And this will be my first piece of traction that I officially have. But those South Shore cars will be nice to have. And those will be a huge part of this layout. And I'm going to build a separate South Shore line with a substation, a gauntlet track, all kinds of stuff. And for a gauntlet track, if you don't know what that is, come take a look at my Chicago Milwaukee Northwestern Facebook page. I've put up some pictures and a description, and I think you'll really like it. It's pretty cool. And for those of you who do know what it is, I'm going to use a switch very similar to this, probably a number 6 or a number 8, depending on it. And I'm going to use just this section going that way. I'm going to probably cut it off right about here, and then I'm going to use a piece of flex track and just continue it on. And I'm not going to use the frog or anything of the part of the switch going that way. Why am I doing this? Well, because it's cool. That's why. And I can probably use the other half of the other switch and make a crossover out of it. So we'll see what happens. But this is my new modular setup. As you can see under here, I have hinges. So when I want to take it apart, all I have to do is fold the legs down on this guy, pull these pins out, so make sure I'm supporting it, pull these pins out, and I can take the layout apart with no help at all. Obviously the layout's not cut yet, but as you can see, it's pretty flush and square. There's a chunk missing out of this here, but underneath, it's smooth and square, and on top it's the same, nice and flat. And I'll be doing this, when I get the 8-foot sections that I have here and over there apart and cleaned up, I'll actually be doing the hinges on the end of this guy as well. And then I'll have a 2x8 foot section on either end of the layout. But this is going to be my freight terminal. So I've got my trucking industries here. I've got my rail coming in for box freight. I can do grain, tank cars, hoppers, bulkhead flats, center beams, gondolas, regular flat cars. I can do anything out of this facility. I'll have the standing pipes and everything for loading and unloading tank cars, hoppers. I'll even have a dump track or whatever with space for emptying out coal cars and hoppers. I've got my mobile material movers here for taking sand, gravel, and other supplies to and from work sites. I've got my little equipment dealer. I'll have a parking lot once I expand this, because this terminal here will be 2 by 12 feet within the curve. And then on the opposite end of where this switch is going to be, I'm going to have a 2-track passing siding alongside the double-track main line for storing equipment for this yard and for switching stuff out without interfering on the main line. So I'm really excited about it. I think this is going to turn out really well, and it'll be interesting. It'll be nice to expand. One of the first modules I'm going to use to expand the layout is this guy right here, which is about 2.5 or 3 foot by 5.5 feet, and then I'll use another more modules that I'll build later. I only have 2 more 2 by 6 foot modules to make. I bought the lumber at Union Grove Lumber Supply. It was like $12 for everything, and we had the legs and screws. And I bought 2 2x8 tabletops from Menards, and those were like $13 a piece or something. And it was actually cheaper to buy this than it was to buy a 4x8 sheet and cut it. Go figure. But what's nice is it fits in my car better, and I don't have to cut it up, and it's nice and flush and square. So I think this is looking really cool. I'm in love with it, and this just happened because I had a bunch of crap sitting on the table and I decided to make something of it for the meantime, and I wound up with about a quarter of my layout. So I'm really happy with it. I'm gonna get one of those rinse relics for that little station stop here. I'll have that over by where the sidings start, closer to where the yard buildings are gonna be. So I do have more yard buildings. I'll have another shop over here for storing rail cars, maybe a grain facility and a parking lot for trucks and cars, and some other stuff. This is nowhere near finished. I plan on having more in here. I'm also looking for a nice heavy-duty drivable crane, not a crawler crane and not a overhead crane. I want to have a regular telescoping crane like you see all the time driving through town, one of the big heavy-duty ones. I want one of those. So, but we'll see what happens. I may have to settle for an overhead crane. I just think it would take up more space than I want, because the mobile crane I can park somewhere and use it on other places on the layout. So hopefully you guys like what you see. I hope you guys like my new layout series. And coming up after this is the layout tour of Andy Breaker's Chicago, Milwaukee, and Lakeshore Electric Railway. So hopefully you guys like that. And then hopefully after the credits, I'll have some more video for you. The bloopers from filming Andy's layout will be up on my Facebook page, along with more pictures and more details. So hopefully you guys like the new series. I know I'm enjoying it. Also, towards the end of this, I'll have a little bit of information about going to the Roma Lodge show here in Racine, and we'll see what I buy. Alright, so at the Tri-City Train Show this week, or this month, I picked up a few things, and I did this for $40. I went in with 50, came out with 10, and that makes 40. I could have bought some extra stuff, and I almost did, but I didn't want to leave without any spare cash, because I'll need some for another 2 weeks for the Madison show. But I've got my first little front runner here with a 48-foot trailer. I've never had one of these. I see them go for insane prices all the time. I think list price they're like between $30 and $40. I have no idea, to be honest with you. But this is my first one, and I'm excited to take a look. I have no idea how well these work or anything, but it looks like the little peg on the trailer broke off, so I have to do something about that. There's no little nub here, it got busted off. But hey, for $10 I'm not going to complain. It's still got metal couplers, and once I get that fixed, I got myself a trailer for the yard and a nice little flat car. Let's see if you can't. There it is, look at that. Fixed. So there's that. I got another trailer for the yard. I can always put something else on here. We've got more trailers, and I wouldn't mind getting something else. So we'll set that over here for now. Box this back up. Alright. There's that. Next, I got this 3-pack of Schneider intermodal containers. Apparently they listed at Iron Rails. That's how old this thing is. They closed down years ago. They listed for $26.95. I have no idea what the latest runs go for, but I got these for $10 as well. And the guy was asking $15 for it. I said I'd buy that building there. He had 20 on that. I asked him if he'd take 30 for both, and he did. So I got a pretty good deal. This I can fit in just about any place I want. It's got a small footprint, and it can offer a lot of opportunity. So let's take a look at these guys. Alright, so here's the container. It's a decent size. It's good. Got a good crisp detail. Good color. I kind of like the roof. That's cool. It's not the huge corrugated sides. It's got the regular van trailer sides. Good detail on the end here. Underbody detail is what you'd expect from an intermodal container, at least from a model anyways. It's got the stack 2 high only on here, so that way you're not stacking them or overstacking them in the yard or anything. And it looks like they're all different numbers, which is, I have no idea. I've never done anything intermodal. Some of you that know me pretty well know that I'm not a huge fan of intermodal, but these will look good sitting in the yard and around the layout. I don't plan on buying any intermodal containers because I don't have any facilities, but I can always use a crane to put this on a flat car, and I plan to use it as a storage container in a couple different areas. So I'll unpack these guys quick, and I'll put those in my freight terminal. And this would make a nice little storage rack for them on a shelf somewhere if you didn't feel like keeping them in the package and you wanted them readily accessible. Alright, set these over here with another purchase. And then here we are to Heritage Furniture. So this is a slightly older version of the furniture kit. This is a background building. It doesn't take up a lot of space. Kind of gets pressed against the backdrop or whatever. Adds a working industry to your railroad in a few inches. Features covered loading dock, suitable for steam, diesel era layouts, and easily angled or thinned to fit your layout. So that's nice. This will fit just about anywhere I want to put it. So it means I won't put this up right away. It's got the original wrapping, it seems like, which this is typical for the older Walther stuff. And it looks to be about 2 inches by 10 inches. So that's actually really small space. If that's only 2 inches wide, I have no idea how you're going to get a car under there. Oh, here. If you can see that, I guess that's how it is. And that's perfect. That's all I need, is just that little bit of space. So it'll go just over the tracks, and it'll sit against something. So that'll actually work out well. I can put something else behind it and have offices up here or something. I'll find something to use this for. So that's not bad for 20 bucks, and I got $5 off the containers, or $2.50 off each. So either way, that's not a bad pull. And that was at the Tri-City monthly railroad show. It's the first Sunday of every month, I guess. You can check them out online, I think, for the dates and that. But I haven't gone in a while. I used to go all the time. You can get some great deals there, like I did with this stuff. There's the same guy I bought a lot of my O-scale stuff from that was there. And you can meet a lot of good people there. Mark Heinen, I believe his name is, does a lot of DCC and custom wiring and lights and stuff. He'll be doing the electrical and lighting in my South Shore cars and any of my other custom stuff. He does excellent work from what I'm told. But before I do a review on his work, I will have those South Shore cars done, or one of them done, and you guys can tell me for yourselves what you think.